And that's the bottom line.
Welcome everyone to episode number 3 of the 1.21 show. I'm Chris Curran, and with me as always is Matt Kalka, Clay Reprogel, and Frank Van Meter. Say hi to the people.
Greetings.
Hello.
We got a packed show again today. Too many of these, man. Tupac pack.
Full of shit.
I'm not filled with any shit.
We're going to be talking about ray tracing or Ray Traylor, whichever ends up being more entertaining, I guess.
I prefer the latter.
We're going to talk about a classic zombie film, Return of the Living Dead. We're going to talk about GTA 5, and we're going to find out if Clay's heart was right about the Punk versus Rock match at the Royal Rumble. Alright, it's Super Bowl fucking Sunday.
Oh, God, I'm so excited.
We have the Ravens versus the 49ers. We have Joe Flacco versus Colin Kaepernick. John Harbaugh versus Jim Harbaugh. Fuck! We're only hours away. We're like 4.5 hours away from this shit.
I know this is not a very football-oriented podcast, but my nipples are rocks over here. I love it. I can't wait.
Can you cut glass with them?
I love my rock nipples, dude. They're great.
Glass cutting nipples.
Now, are we going to have the Super Bowl, or are we going to have the Har Bowl?
I like the Har Bowl.
I like Harbowl.
Har Bowl. Super Bowl just sounds like you got a problem.
I actually haven't heard the Super Bowl yet, so that just sounds like shit. What was the place that did the whole thing that was like the Bro Bowl? I was like, come on now.
For a year they've been calling it the Har Bowl because we went last year at Thanksgiving. And it was the Sun or some high-level shit. Said it was the fucking Bro Bowl. Stupid. All right,
sounds like something that should belong on, like, Jersey Shore, the Bro Bowl. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's a bro down. All right, 28-21 Ravens, that's what I'm saying.
Clay, what do you think?
Shit. What did I say? I don't watch football. Fuck it.
21-17.
I said 21-17.
21-17. I'm guessing that's what you said.
Whatever.
That's why you don't really watch football. We want an unbiased score.
Yeah.
Yes, those are definite numbers from me. I'm probably going to say 28-14.
All right. So, close, but not a blowout on either end.
I know cigar.
No.
Swell.
No, I think it's going to be a tough one.
This game.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody thinks it's going to be a blowout by any means. So, we will see.
All right, guys, time for headlines.
This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed.
That's awesome. I'm glad we got that. Thank you for the soundboard, by the way. That's going to make things a lot more fun.
When he
remembers to do it, Frank.
Yeah.
What do we got for headlines?
All right. A Tennessee senator says that video game violence is more of a problem than gun control. We have Boston trying to ban violent video games after the school shootings.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole. I shot him 6 times. 9 times.
Now I feel that the soundboard's going to get us in trouble, maybe.
But
we've already made it.
This
Sorry.
is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
Violence has been around a whole hell of a lot longer than video games.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Gun control is not going to help, and definitely banning violent video games is not going to help.
Yeah. No, well, that's not the problem. Guns aren't even the problem.
Exactly. And that's a whole different issue.
That's a whole different issue.
I will rant for hours.
But Chris Rock said it best. It's not like anybody can just be fucking crazy anymore. There's got to be a reason behind it. Video games, music. Marilyn Manson causing that shit? Come on.
What is this, the 90s?
Yeah, what is this, the 90s?
I read that. I just read that article and I was like, are you serious? I was laughing while I was sitting on the toilet at work reading that article. That's great. I thought you just might want to know that.
I've got a great picture in my mind now. I know exactly.
Frank on the shitter reading the paper just going, oh, I don't believe it. Yeah, solving any of that shit, no. It's not video games, it's not music, it's not movies, it's not television. It's people.
Some people are
people
just
going
fucking
nuts.
Crazy.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
All right, Sony announces that they will release information on the PS4 on February 20th.
The first shot has been fired.
The first shot has been fired, exactly. Now, they released a teaser video on it. We were talking about it last week. What was it called? The Dominique?
Dominique.
No, the name for the PS4.
I thought the Omni. I thought they were trying to call it the Omni.
I was going to say, that's very mysterious, son.
So,
Xbox wanted to do the whole code name Durango.
Can I ask you guys a question real quick?
No.
Since PS4, I'll call it, is going to fire the first shot and come out and announce stuff, what are you guys going to do? We're all Xbox-oriented, I'll say. Are you going to stick with your Xbox and wait it out for Xbox to come out with theirs? May it be a year or two?
I think it depends on...
or at least are you going to pick up the next-gen console and then wait for Xbox and get both?
It depends on what's in the things. I'm not just going to buy... I bought an Xbox on the first day it came out, 360. And, that was a good purchase. But I don't think I'm past my 360 yet, so I'm not even in a hurry to get a new, console or anything
even if the same game could come out on both and it would look better on the...
Well,
next generation?
Like you said, we're all Xbox users here. We have PlayStations, but I don't use it.
I don't use mine either.
Yeah, if the two were to come out on the same day, at this point, I'd probably go with Xbox because that's what I
definitely go with Xbox.
Yeah.
Say you had a year though. That's what I was saying.
So PS4 comes out and it's not a year until the new Xbox
and then a year when the new Xbox.
Well, yeah, okay. It depends on what comes out. Like I bought an Xbox on the first day because of Dead Rising. That game really sucked me in. Like I was a PlayStation user from day one. That one game turned me into an Xbox user. Now, if PlayStation comes out, crazy early, and they say we got George Romero presents Zombie the Game, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna look at it. But they come out with the first day releases like Bonk's Newcastle and Mama's Meatballs. I'm not gonna go for it.
I might go for Mama's Meatballs, but Bonk can take a backseat.
I'd at least pick it up in the
Bonk can suck it.
I'll go for some meatballs. What I meant was Hershey's Kiss Candy Love.
If George Romero presents anything comes out, I'm lining up. I'm pre-ordering. I'm fucking...
That thing's mine. I'm not waiting for that one.
Ugh.
Comic-Con badges go on sale February 16th at 9 a.m.
It's only a couple days away.
You said you were buying mine this year?
No.
Yeah, I hope he was picking the tab up for them.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to need some airfare, too, if you don't mind. Hotel accommodations. A decent breakfast, maybe an awesome lunch.
I'll treat you to some McDonald's. No problem.
That'll work.
So, that's cool. That's some bargaining right there. We went from Comic-Con to some McDonald's.
Sure.
McDonald's. Free McDonald's from Frank for us next week.
What?
We're excited about it, too, Frank. Calm down.
Oh.
Alright, Adult Swim is going to Netflix. Or not going to Netflix. They're putting shows on Netflix.
It's about time.
Fuck yeah. It's been forever.
I hope they put C-Lab up there.
Talking about putting in that... Yeah, C-Lab, Tim and Eric. I'd like to go up there. A whole bunch of shit.
Like their regular shit, I guess?
Well, hopefully they're old funny shit.
Oh, the older funny shit. Yeah.
Keep the misses, give me the hits.
Well, you can put... But see, that's
good
the joy
Eddie
of
Money
Netflix.
album.
You can put both on there, and I just don't have to go to the misses. I just won't pay attention to them.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen any of those two, so they'll all be fresh when I watch them again. It'll be funny again. All right, big main show topics. It's time for that. Royal Rumble. Clay, was your heart correct about the Punk Rock match?
It was, and then it wasn't. It was fine, but then it got ripped out of my chest.
Half ripped out.
Half.
Well,
I don't know. I'm going to say whole because Punk doesn't have the title anymore.
Punk doesn't have the title, and Cena won the Rumble.
Yeah. And Cena won the fucking... So you were right on that.
Yeah.
You were right.
Wrong on one, right on the other.
I knew it. Yeah, I knew.
What was that little thing we figured out?
60% of the time, it works every time.
If we're going to WrestleMania, Cena is going to win the Rumble.
Cena's going to ruin it.
He's going to ruin our Mania experience.
I say that every Monday and the occasional Sunday that Cena's going to ruin it.
We're 2 for 2 now on WrestleMania, so...
Yeah. If there is a God, he fucking hates us.
wrestling god.
The wrestling god.
JBL hates us. Damn
I'd
it.
take that.
Damn.
If JBL knows me to hate me, I'm fine with that.
We were quite depressed at the end of Sunday night.
Yeah, and it's such a bullshit. And I hate when they do like Punk won the match, hook or crook by crook, and then Vince comes out and no, it's got to get restarted. They restart the match and it lasts 5 minutes and Rock wins.
Yeah,
right, with the people's elbow.
With the people's elbow. How many times? And Punk didn't even get a GTS on him, not even one.
No, it was bad. It was so predictable. It was the exact route that everyone thought they were going to take. You know? Like, everyone saw this coming.
Now, my big gripe with the whole thing, at least with Cena winning and then going to Mania to face The Rock, Cena did not need to win the Rumble for that to happen.
No.
So, just like the Money in the Bank was with Dolph Ziggler, it was a huge stepping stone for him. To where they gave him that, and they're still having him lose every fucking week. But he goes in there, but he's got the credibility now of, is he going to cash it in? When he's going to... He's a young guy, a young talent who got that boost tool, which is exactly what the Rumble should be. Last year, was it Sheamus won last year?
Sheamus won, yeah.
And he was the up-and-coming guy, and look how much he blew up because he went to Mania. He beat Daniel Bryan in, 16 seconds, 18 seconds, whatever it was. And now he's a huge star, and they have built somebody to be on that pedestal with everybody else, or well, not even with everybody else, but their
Cena at this point,
and their Punks, and the occasional Rock.
Well, they don't want to build people; they want to hold people down. We see that every week.
I don't think it's that they want to. I just don't think that they know what they're doing.
I think they're afraid to pull the trigger on some of the guys. I mean, for so long they've been relying, since the Attitude Era, they've been relying on guys like H and Undertaker and Michaels. And, one by one, all these guys are just dropping. And all they can do is, push these guys suddenly up. Like, remember they pushed Sheamus straight to the WWE title when he threw Cena through the table. What was that, like 3 years ago, something like that? Mm-hmm. It was a few months after he debuted. They got to pull some crappy shit like that in order to get new stars. And all that did was hurt Sheamus. He had to go back down, do the whole United States thing again, and then work his way back up to the world title, which is still secondary, And
we look at guys like Wade Barrett. He was in NXT, and they did their thing, and he had his gimmick. And actually, I thought he was one of the best gimmicks.
Yeah,
that's on NXT to date.
He knew he was winning.
But when he came in, they joined the whole Nexus thing, or they formed the Nexus thing. They came in, and I remember that Raw vividly. At the end of Raw, Cena was out there. He was giving some kind of shitty promo, like he always does. And they came out and just, no commentary, tore the ring apart, beat the shit out of Cena. They tore off the ring mat, the ring apron. They tore down the turnbuckles, all the tables, tore up the mats. And I remember just sitting there like, what? This is so new. I was enthralled.
It was great. Yeah, but like everything else, whenever anything in WWE, whenever it feels fresh and new, they water it down so badly, and that's just every time. Look. When the Nexus came out, it was great. That one Raw was great. And these guys just became like they just became like bait, for these fucking the huge stars. Cena come out and beat Heath Slater, in like 10 seconds. Like they advertised that match when we're back from break. Cena versus Heath Slater, like anyone wants to see that. And look what happened to them all. Like Wade Barrett, I'm pretty sure. Well, no, Ryback. What was his name back then?
Skip Sheffield,
yeah. Like, they were building him as a monster towards the end, and he got hurt. Good, that's probably the best thing that could have happened to him. Like, waiting and back to Wade Barrett. He was the leader, and he didn't need Nexus, you know what I'm saying, to get over anything. It was just, they wanted to build 8 new stars, like,
they were
just
getting
like
the
that.
rub off of him, if anything.
Ziggler, if Ziggler would have won the Rumble, I mean, imagine that. Your Money in the Bank, and you win the Rumble. If Wade Barrett would have done it, he's the Intercontinental Champion, and he won the Rumble. Instead, just go with good old Cena again.
Yeah,
just
squander the opportunity to make it something bigger than it.
Well, they're still doing exactly what they were doing when your Undertakers and Shawn Michaels and Triple H's were still the big guys. They don't want to put anybody up over them because it's going to hurt. they don't want to hurt. Vince doesn't want to hurt his big superstars.
He don't have any big superstars anymore.
And that's what we've come to now.
Right.
Because he didn't want to hurt his big superstars for so long. Now that they're gone, who's he have?
Yeah, he has Cena, which no one wants. We're subjected to Cena at this point. That's what it is.
Because he feels like no one else can be the face of his franchise.
No, not his.
Empire.
Not his. You know, it has to be some muscle-bound goof. That's got to be the leader of his company. It can't
Vince
be a
is
guy
calling you right now.
Cena's calling to tell us to shut the fuck up.
Cena can call me, and I'm going to tell him to suck it and hang up and call him back and then tell him to suck it again. How about that?
We need to pay a secretary or something.
Who is that?
Sharon, coffee and phone, now.
Moving on.
So Cena wins the Rumble. Punk wins the title. Or Rock wins the title. We come out, the next night on Raw. Now, Punk comes out and, as always, cuts a heel promo. He's awesome at his heel promos. I mean, that is the best probably 10 minutes of the entire 3 hours that I force myself to sit through every week.
I'm going to make a point about Punk's heel promo. When Punk losing the title, his reaction to that on Raw made the title seem so much more important than any time that it was lost before. If you remember, every time Cena loses that title, he comes out the next night doing his little salute, smiling and sliding in the ring like, oh, he got the better of me, that guy. I lost the WWE title, but it's not all that bad. Punk came out and was just foaming at the mouth, kicking kids, flipping wheelchairs, shitting on Michael. He was doing everything. And that's how you should react when you lose the biggest title in the company. To the people's elbow, too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's because the whole point of watching wrestling is to suspend
reality.
You want to you watch it like a soap opera. It's a male soap opera. That's what it is.
Right.
So when you're watching it, you want to watch it, and you know that it's not real, but you want to watch it like it is, like it's an actual story. Yeah. So when he comes out and does that, it's making me go, oh, he's pretty fucking pissed. He lost the title.
Right.
I care because he cares.
Yeah, exactly. So, why should I care if he doesn't care?
Yeah.
On that note, later on in the show, John Cena comes out and announces he does this big, entire 10, 15-minute speech about who he's going to face at Mania. It could go this way, it could go that way. He says, finally, I'm going after the WWE title, whoever that may be. Cheers and boos from the crowd. He leaves. Rock comes out a little while later, doesn't even make reference to the fact that he was challenged for the title by Cena, who won the Rumble.
That was confusing.
He focuses on Punk, which I'm glad, because I'm more interested in Rock and Punk than I ever would be in John Cena and Rock again.
Right.
So that shows you where they think that they have to build Punk and Rock because people aren't interested in it, and they feel they can leave John Cena and Rock alone because they think everyone's, that's what they want, so they don't have to touch it.
Yeah, it's
complete opposite.
Vince is putting on the show that he wants to see. Not so much the one that we want to see.
Oh, if we got the Vince show, it'd be him out there in a lazy boy with John Cena sitting on his lap, sending wishes to kids. That's what we get. Sharon, phone, coffee.
In this day and age, you'd think they could put a mute button or turn the volume down on phones. Damn.
No, not yet.
Oh, we're not there yet. Well, yeah, 2015's coming. That's officially the future. So maybe then.
Let's put the
I don't even know how we're hearing it because I don't have a phone down here. So
ghost phone.
I don't understand.
Nicolas Cage's ghost phone.
Maybe he'll be a weekly guest. Oh, ghost phone every week on our show.
And he calls us and tells us we're doing a good job.
Now I'm going to end this little wrestling rant with this. John Cena, Rock beat John Cena last year at WrestleMania. And I remember, we were very happy at that point. But then we also talked about the fact that Rock wasn't probably going to... He said he was never leaving or whatever, or he wasn't going away, whatever. So that means he would be back. And everyone comes back for Mania. Brock's back now for Mania, And you got to believe that, we knew that this rematch was going to happen, Rock and Cena again. It just sucks that they let Punk hold the title long enough to give it to Rock, so Cena could take it then,
Right.
That sucks. So, now after WrestleMania, we're going to be sitting at 1-1, meaning in Vince's volcano of a brain, it's WrestleMania 30, the rubber match. Nah, you're fired. Yeah! Fired! And that's what he's getting at. So we're going to have to watch Rock versus Cena 3, the rubber match at WrestleMania 30. And if that's at Madison Square Garden, you better believe that we have to go to that. And I don't want to go to that. Again. 3 years in a row. That's what I'm calling right now. Three years in a row.
Bleh. See, you talked about Brock Lesnar coming back. How about that? Picking Vince up on his shoulders. Vince, what is Vince McMahon?
64, 65.
114. Yeah. Picks him up on his shoulders, spins that motherfucker off, and slams him on the ground.
On his hip?
on his the story that they put out is he broke his pelvis.
I mean, it looks like he could have, because he didn't just sell, the F5. He flew off his shoulders like a friggin' helicopter. Like, he just went.
Yeah. He sold. Imagine your grandpa getting picked up by Brock Lesnar and thrown away. It's just, but he did a better job selling injury than most of the fucking roster does.
Yeah, Vince needs to teach Cena how to sell a bump.
Yeah. Shed that little tear for the crowd. All the wheelchair kids. Can we say that? Is that...
So that's fine. They used to chant Jerry's kids.
Oh yeah. All right.
I put the quarters in the jars.
I don't.
That's coming around.
Well,
no, I like the ones with the single picture that's there for like 4 years of the same kid, that just where you slip the quarters in.
This kid does not age.
Let me see.
He still needs quarters.
Yeah, if I'm gonna give you a quarter, at least let me see what the guy looks like now. If he's wearing a fucking suit, put my picture up there, because I need your quarters.
He's just a little older with a mustache. Give me my quarterback.
Quarterback.
He's mailing checks out. Let's talk about Return of the Living Dead. Now, this movie, if you haven't picked up now, because I think this will be the third show in a row that we've talked about zombies in some way or another. So if you haven't noticed by now, we're really into fucking zombie movies.
I love them.
Yeah.
If you've ever been over my house, or if you ever come over my house.
Is that an open invitation to everybody?
It may be.
Fans, come to our houses and look.
If you come to our houses, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Return of the Living Dead.
I love this movie.
It's a gem from our childhood.
I really do love this movie.
I thought it was like a really, really funny movie.
It is. It's a completely different take on the whole zombie franchise.
Yeah,
so like horror/comedy, right?
Right.
Comedy. Definitely a black comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unintentional humor too. That's what.
It's not just the movie itself that's funny. It's actually the actual characters that put it together to make it.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, these aren't your A to B like horror movie characters. It's not John and Tim and Sally, just getting picked off one by one. Like, each character has personality to them, and it's definitely the characters that bring this movie together.
And it's an 80s personality.
Oh, there's
Max 80s personality.
Is 80s.
Yeah, when there's a mohawk and a trench coat, you're in the 80s with pins and buttons.
Well, when there's that chain hanging off the dude's ear that goes from his ear to his lip.
Yeah. That may be early 90s, but they definitely did that in the 80s as well. I love the thing about this movie is that zombies are scary, of course, whatever, because they got like tongues hanging out and they're fucking fucked up. But in here, these zombies have personality because, they know what they want from you. They want your brains. Brain eating emanated from this movie right here.
Why do you eat people?
Not people. Brains.
They talk to you. They talk back to you. They run.
They sass you.
They sass you the whole time.
They're smart, too. That's the thing.
Yep.
They're smart.
Yeah, Tarman, at the beginning, when he's attacking Tina in the basement, he rigs up this crank chain door rip-off thing. Like, what the hell? A normal zombie would just run into the door and moan at it. Meh.
Pretty good.
Oh, I think that was it right there.
Lifelike.
Same thing. How many zombies you know?
4.
For yourself.
4, yeah. How many zombies you know that would actually pick up CB radio to call in for more paramedics or more cops?
I'm in dispatch. Send more paramedics.
Send
more
paramedics. What was that? That was like a chain. The greater good.
So yeah, the characters in this definitely make it, from beginning to end, a great watch. Frank?
You guys aren't talking about me, though, right?
No.
Not you.
I don't talk about you.
We don't talk about you.
Yeah, who am I?
Frank and Freddie. Frank and Freddie together. Those two are amazing together. They play off each other so well. James Karen, especially. His screaming, his crying.
Right.
You know, and
he's really animated in
I think
how
we talked that it's the only reason that it made the second one bearable is because they were back in the movie in different roles, but together again.
And it also made it very sad, too, because you wanted that same, like, feeling from the first one, but it was definitely rushed in the second one. And I don't want to talk about any other ones.
But we're not getting into the second one or third one or fourth one. Or
I'll dab in the second, but I'm not talking about the fourth or fifth. Don't get me started.
For good reason.
Yeah, we'll talk about them some other time in our shitty movie section.
Dear God, don't make me watch this again.
Yeah, we're talking about it too much now. One of the, Kern, you said to me, Kendall crotch.
Yeah, I did say that.
That's, this movie came out in 1985, and I've been watching it ever since. So I was definitely like 5 and 6 years old watching this hot naked chick dancing around with this, what I thought, I guess, was a real crotch. But
I thought crotches look like that.
Look what I have to look forward to when I get older. Shaved crotch, but it was rubber. Whatever. Who cares? She was hot anyway.
You were actually telling me a couple days ago, Clay, that when she comes, or after she gets bitten, or after she turns as well.
Yeah.
When she's walking down the street towards all the cops and all that, you said that part freaked you out.
Dude, yeah. When she eats that bum's head, when I was little, I can remember Two-Face used to scare me when I was a kid. First, it was that one. It took me a while to get used to that giant clown hot chick shit. But I got used to it. The other one was in American Werewolf in London, when he's running through the woods naked and his friend's in the bed and he has fangs and yellow eyes. That one I was not too happy about either. But I learned to overcome.
We're so proud of you.
We've overcome.
It was help from you guys that got me through these times.
So glad.
Or it was you showing me the movies at my young tender 4 or 5 years old, and then me having to go take the walk between our houses home. And I thought that literally everything that I just watched was going to come and get me. So I would run. I would just run as fast as I could.
Turn around, you see Kendall crotch
chasing
you.
Dude, I would shit. Shit.
That's all. You would shit if you saw Kendall crotch. I'm going to quote you on that.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't either. I'm done with that. Back to the effing movie. We're talking about crotches instead of the movie.
No one ever said we were professionals.
Nah, someone did once, but we didn't agree with it.
This movie had the comedy and the good horror to go with it. Enough $10 crotch to scar you for life, but enough comedy to go with it to lighten the mood while they're doing it.
Yeah. Best thing about the movie, I guess the reason why it really succeeded is because it didn't try to pull directly from the movies before it. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead came out the same year, but it didn't latch on to those rules, and they even play at that in the movie. Talking about.
Let me go back a little bit. This was originally written by John Russo. He had his hand involved in it, and he eventually, I believe, sold the script and just kind of stepped back from it.
Yeah, originally
Dan O'Bannon got his hands on it.
Thank God.
And turned it into what it was. It was originally a more serious movie, and it's been turned into this heavenly creation that it is today.
Well, originally it was it took place the day after Night of the Living Dead, the original book or screenplay, what have you. Yeah, that's like the John Russo story was the day after Night of the Living Dead.
You can read it is out there.
Yeah, it's out there. I got tricked into buying the damn fucking Dan O'Bannon version novel. Piece of crap. It had some fake skeleton on the front, and that tricked me. Bastards. I was expecting a school bus full of kids flipping over. Instead, I got Frank and Beans.
But now you're perfectly content with Frank and Freddy.
Nah, I love Frank and Freddy. I just want to read the friggin' Russo version of it. You know, just like I'd like to read the original Day of the Dead. You know, I think I said that last week. I'd like to see George Romero get funded to make his real version of Day of the Dead instead of the already awesome one that's out anyway.
Right.
I love that movie too.
All right, now we're going to talk about GTA 5. News came out yesterday that it has a release date of September 17th, as opposed to what they originally announced, which was spring 2013.
Pushback.
Well,
I'm hoping that they actually hold it to this again, because it's the same thing. You get excited for spring, and then it gets pushed back again.
Well, when they give it an actual date, I'm more comforted by the fact that we got an actual, single day, as opposed to just because Valve fucked me over.
Valve time
with them talking about Christmas and Easter, and it's such a vague thing that they can change it. So whenever somebody announces something like that, I never take it for gold or whatever.
Right, yeah.
So
how many more times does it need to be pushed back before it turns into Valve time?
At least one more from an actual date. If you push it back from an actual date, you're getting on Valve time.
Yeah.
So one good thing that I like about this is that they put it back in San Andreas. Now, San Andreas was always my favorite of the GTA maps. You have the forests, you have the city, and you have the fucking mountain. I love that mountain.
Yeah.
Going to the top of that thing, spawning a vehicle, and just driving the fuck off. Killed many hours of my... I want to say
years.
I want to say youth, but it's probably like my mid-20s. Which is kind of sad, I guess. But, Clay, I know that was one of your favorites, too.
Yeah, Fern Gully, climbing the mountain.
Climbing the mountain through Fern Gully.
Now, Clay, I think we were talking the other night. Maybe it was during Rumble. And it was about GTA 5. And what were you saying about, like, you'd rather wait to have them give us a polished, finished game?
No, I think Curran said that, because I said that by the time this game comes out, it's going to be like 2 years since they announced this shit. You know, which is, like, I agree 100%. I don't want, a botched-ass GTA. That'd be the worst.
Right, exactly. If you're going to take 2 years, at least make it perfect when we get it.
Right, and Rockstar can't afford some shit like that. You know, we're going to get, like, Brink again or something. But, I don't mind the pushback. You know, it is what it is. And, like you said, they didn't give us, it's not Valve, they didn't give us a date and then say, oh, never mind, it's not that day. So we got a date now we got something to look forward to. It's not like there's not 100 other games you can play until then.
Right, I'm actually going to quote you on this there, Kern. I'd rather wait till that game's 100% and not in need of 20 patches.
Right, that's the quote.
That's exactly what I said.
And he quote.
Yeah, I'm reading it out of the text right here.
So
multiplayer in that game is going to be phenomenal, if I can just say that. Because I enjoy multiplayer more than I enjoy the actual game itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Once you've beaten the game, going back and just the whole multiplayer online thing, 4 people getting into a car, riding around and just shooting shit up, driving off this or that, crashing into whatever.
I never really got into the whole, GTA series with you guys. I mean, I played it back in the day, and then you guys played it, and then I really didn't. So I actually can't wait to get into this one and play it with all you.
Seems like there's going to be a lot more we can get into also. It's not just flying a helicopter and jumping out with a parachute. That was like the high point of us playing GTA.
It's almost like if whenever GTA came out and then Saints Row came out, and anything that wasn't in GTA that people bitched about, Saints Row put it into their game. The jets, jet skis, whatever.
Yeah.
So now GTA, from the screenshots that we've seen, there's going to be jets, fucking submarines.
Submarines, sharks, dogs.
Yeah, all sorts of sharks.
Sharks.
What the hell is sharks doing in a fucking GTA video game?
I don't care.
It's there. It's great.
Put in birds.
There doesn't need to be a reason.
Nope.
The one thing, they haven't really said much about it. I mean, all we have right now is what we got from the screenshots. The one thing about the main game story is you playing between 3 different characters. And I think I read they said that they did that because the map is so effing huge. They said it's like taking Red Dead, putting it next to San Andreas, and then putting that next to, what the hell was the other one? GTA 4, and then that's how big your map is, and then some. So they need 3 characters for you to be able to switch in between so you don't have to travel, 75 miles just to get to where you're going.
That's a huge map.
That's too big.
It's huge.
That is huge.
That's never.
I remember when we first started playing Red Dead Redemption, and we were like, "Oh my God, look at this map!" And then we found out that there's a whole other part in Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
We were like, "What? There's more?"
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying with San Andreas, that was the best part playing that, because at one point you were in a small town, and then you were in a big city, and then you were in the forest, and then you're coming up on you went to different places, so it felt like when you were driving for 10 minutes that you're actually going somewhere different. On
Right.
GTA 4, when that came out, it was pretty much all one big city. Cause
You were in New York.
Yeah. So wherever you go, you're just around buildings.
Buildings.
So
It really felt like
Closed in.
closed in. I didn't go anywhere.
So they're going to do what you were saying, Clay, like they're doing 3 different characters to more or less move throughout the place, so it's not going to be like Red Dead where, you could either ride your horse all the way across town or you just use the travel points.
Ride your steed.
Your noble steed.
Yeah, I guess it's, also each character has a different, skill set, too. So you'll have to use character number 1 to do this job, number 2 to do that job, number 2 to do that job. It's, I guess it's for a few different reasons. Maybe playing just as Nico, that kind of got, just like the map kind of, felt closed in. It felt repetitive with just one character. Now they're trying something new, and I'm fine with it. It's not like I'm going to get attached to any of these guys anyway.
It's not like 3 different campaigns.
No, they're all working together to, score big or what have you.
All right.
Whatever criminals do. What do they do, Curran?
It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie where you have 3 different stories going on, but they're all interconnected by the end.
Yeah, but they're all working together to make the one big score.
All right, we got a request in from Big Boss Man. He wants us to talk about ray tracing. So
does it have to do with Ray Traylor?
Oh! The trailer crash is what he calls it.
Got him!
Side spike, and he got him in trouble.
Big time!
It really was Ray Traylor.
I think that has everything to do with Ray Traylor.
Everything.
All right. On the last podcast, we were talking about next-gen consoles, and the whole thing of ray tracing got brought up into the mix about it. I said I'd talk about it a little bit this podcast, so I'm not going to go too in-depth with it because, you literally need, pads and papers to draw out this algorithm, so I'm not even going to get into it.
Frank, algorithms.
Algorithms. More or less I'm going to, NVIDIA, the graphics manufacturer NVIDIA, they've already got developers' tools out there for people who want to play around with ray tracing and all that. Basically, I'll give you just like an overall just summary on what ray tracing is. It's actually a technique that generates an image by tracing a path of lights throughout the pixels. So, like I said, it's going to be awesome to see how it can be used for the next-gen consoles and how the way the next, the new games are going to be and all that.
Yeah.
But
you basically render an object or objects on screen, and then you put where a source of light would be coming from.
Exactly.
And it makes it look more realistic.
Right.
When
they're going to be using the optical effects, such as like reflections, refractions, scattering, and dispersion. So.
Oh, I know.
But here's the thing, and we talked about this too, last podcast. With all this technology, what's it going to do to the game prices?
$20.
Yeah, right. We spend what, $60 a game now?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, you throw all this technology in and all this stuff because this shit ain't cheap to do. I'll tell you that. And now you're looking at $120 a game.
I'm not gonna stand here and listen to this baloney.
He won't, He doesn't stand for baloney.
$120. Fuck no.
You better go with that
What's
budget.
my Super NES? I'm bringing that shit out.
They were even
Super NES. Give me regular cartridge style, regular old school NES. I'll blow out the cartridge and
there's no way they're going
to
to get away with charging $120 a game. I don't care what.
Not in this economy. Hell no.
I don't care what. Well, not in any economy. No one's going to go for that.
Well, the other thing is that a lot of younger kids, they have their parents buying them the games and all that stuff because they can't afford it. You think the parents are going to spend $120? They probably don't even like spending $60 as it is now.
Yeah.
So
fuck the parents. I'm talking about me. I'm not spending that.
Yeah. Parents can suck it. I'm worried about myself. I'm not paying $120. We talked about this last time. I'm not paying $120 for the same old gaming experience. That game better make me feel like I'm driving down the street like about to flip over in a car. You know what I'm saying? No way. Just because it looks a little better, get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. That's what they're saying. Okay, the next-gen consoles can use it and, have it to their, availability. But the problem is, are the actual gaming manufacturers going to use it? Are they going to implement it into the games knowing what it's going to do?
Well, if they use it, they might have to suck it because no one's going to spend that fucking money.
And that's the thing. They're going to realize that, and they're going to be like, oh, well, no one's buying our games. Why is that? Oh, because you freaking put ray tracing in there.
Well, that's when Ray Traylor gets the axe.
Yeah. String them up like
axe of life.
String them up in a cage.
Yep, that's what you got to do. That's how Ray Traylor learns his lesson. You don't rip my games.
That's all I really got to say about ray tracing. I don't have much to really say about it too much.
Man.
The Ray Traylor method. You string them.
Ray Traylor's ray tracing.
Looking on the shelves. I'll pay $120 if Ray Traylor's ray tracing.
Yeah.
That would be double.
I would pay $120 for that. A whole new ball game.
As always, thanks for joining us for another episode of the 1.21 Show. You can follow us on Twitter at 1.21 Show.
I also want to give a thank you to Gaming World Entertainment Network. You can check them out at www.gw-en.com. They have an awesome set of DJs that are playing more or less 24 hours a day. So you can check them out there.
Tune in next week for episode 4. This is Kern for Matt, Clay, and Frank saying adios. Tell them, Biff.
So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?